you haven't answered the question about why suddenly Anna Hazare himself, by a senior leader of the Congress party, by a general secretary, no one lesser than that, Anna Hazare himself is now being labelled a member of the RSS, which wasn't the tone, the tenor, Manish. You're skirting the real issue. You're not answering the question straight on. This hasn't been said earlier. Why is it being said now? It seems to be a bit to discredit the civil society representatives.
Well, first of all, I do not know what Mr. B.K. Hariprasad has said or he has not said, but allow me to put it very clearly that some of the views which Mr. Anna Hazare has expressed, especially about democracy, about the Indian electorate, tend to lean towards a very fascist worldview, and there is a convergence between that view and the worldview which the RSS has. I would not, for one, go to the extent of labeling Mr. Anna Hazare as an RSS agent, but yes, there are certain legitimate concerns that we have about his ideological disposition and the involvement of certain people with very clear RSS linkages whose intention is not as noble as of some members on the Lokpal drafting committee, and we have our legitimate apprehensions.
I now want to take up the second centre stage face-off question for this evening. Why is the government not willing to accept a public debate on the Lokpal bill? I want to put this question first to Justice Santosh Hegde. The government says this is not the way bills are drafted. Bills are drafted in closed rooms, they're discussed in Parliament. That's the manner in which bills have been drafted in this country. That's the same formula that should be accepted. Why are you insisting, Justice Hegde, on a public debate on the Lokpal bill, sir?
Yeah, the fact is that we have lost all legislative system, saying the way the legislature is functioning. Our representatives are only our representatives and not our general power of attorney holders. They have to discuss with the constituents what type of a bill they are going to discuss and what is the view of the people, because ultimately it's the governance of the people here and all. And since the entire 121 crore can't sit in the parliament or assembly, we have sent them as a representative body, They don't discuss with us, they don't discuss in the parliament. Bills are passed in the assembly or in the parliament without any discussion, which is to the advantage of the government which is in power, which wants the bill to go through and all. Now, because of this failure, some people in the civil society thought somebody should listen to our voice. After all, in democracy, it's the people's voice that functions. Now, if people's voice are not heard or discussed, either at the level of the constituency by the representatives or by the people in the parliament, I think there's no more democracy at all. Now, let me get back to the argument of Mr. Tiwari. He says X is a affiliate or a member of an RSS group and all. Is RSS a banned organization? Are the communists a banned organization? Or is the Muslim League a banned organization? Why do you take this point merely because somebody wants to support it? As a matter of fact, on the first day when Anna Hazare sat for fasting, Pappu Yadav, who was convicted for murder and whom I had the responsibility of transferring him from Behur jail to Tihar jail, he also sat on hunger strike. I don't find anything wrong with it.
Okay, fair point. That's a fair point Justice Hegde is making. But I want to put the principal question to Manish Tiwari. Proceedings in Parliament, Manish, are televised nationally. People get a sense of who's saying what. Why can the proceedings of the drafting committee of the Lokpal bill not be televised? Why is the government so scared of a public debate, Manish?
Well, first of all, I find this entire proposition to be completely laughable. Haven't we discussed the Lokpal bill, to death over the last 3 months in every television studio in the country? And with all due respect to Justice Santosh Hegde, I think there is possibly an error in understanding as to how the legislative system works. And the legislative system works as follows, that when the government prepares a draft bill, they put it out on their website, they invite public comments. After the stakeholders have given their comments, and if they are found worth incorporating, they are incorporated. It goes to Parliament. Parliament invariably sends it to a standing committee. In the standing committee, the same process is repeated.